Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today, we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, so let's just dive in. And let's start off with the price chart. So I've been addressing a few things around XRP for a while. One of the biggest things that always kind of show up for me when I talk about XRP is the fact that, we've been in this downtrend since going back to 2021. I do think that a lot of altcoins have topped out back here in May, aka April almost. It was like the April to May timeframe where a lot of altcoins were topping out. Most of them did not make a new all-time high in November. That's why I say like the November was almost like a dead cat bounce. I know that Bitcoin made a new all-time high, but I think that it was more of a fake out pump. But nonetheless, we have been in this downtrend for a while. I do think that Ripple, aka Ripple with XRP, they were doing some incredible things, especially boosting the XRP utility during 2020. We had this perfect setup back here where XRP was going absolutely crazy, pumped to like 70 some cents, and then all of a sudden, boom, the SEC came in and ruined the party. I do think that we would have had a significant run back here. In fact, I would argue that without the SEC, we probably would have went to at least $5. I know that a lot of people say like $10 plus, which could have definitely have been possible. It would have been like over a 42x opportunity run to about $5. But I have been addressing the $10 to $15 range for a while. I do have the highest fib outreach up there to possible $26.76 per XRP, which would be from our summer lows, almost a 90x opportunity. Now, I also do have on the chart this 41% drop down to about 22 cents. If we do get this drop, just so that you guys know, my two accumulation zones have been laid out on the chart for a while. The first one, which we are still trading in, was 33 cents to about 38 cents. My second one is down here, and it's between 22 to 25 cents. This is a very large demand zone going all the way back to even 2017, 2018's bull run. Let me have this kind of go over here just so that you guys can see it. So here's all that major demand, and could we go lower? 100%. In fact, if we go any lower than 20 cents, historically, it will be a huge buy-in opportunity for us, especially if we are talking about everything that has been happening with XRP, with the SEC, and all that kind of stuff, which, yes, we will address in this video as well. So let's actually talk about the perfect setup. Let's talk about why do you think that XRP could really change a lot of lives going forward, especially when we're talking about like 2023 into 2024. So first off, I want to share with you guys the idea that, yes, XRP has been delisted from all of these major exchanges, but also at the end of the day, I think that this statement from Alex Cobb is actually right on. When we look at things happening around crypto right now, these exchanges are known to not be safe for retail. We do see a huge blessing in disguise that many U.S. crypto exchanges took XRP off of their balance sheet after SEC lawsuit. Now they are going bust and don't have any XRP to dump to save themselves. And yes, this is the case. Right now, it's interesting because, Coinbase, which, by the way, for anybody out there that doesn't know, Coinbase listed XRP after 2017 and 2018. They listed XRP in 2019, so over here in this time frame. And now XRP is targeting a capitalization that is twice as big as Coinbase. This is very interesting because you got to remember that XRP is not listed on any major exchanges. I mean, honestly, XRP, it's challenging for some people to buy it because it's really only listed on a few exchanges. Uphold is one of them. I personally utilize MEXC. If you guys know me, I do like MEXC because there's no holds, there's no lockups. You could easily, buy and withdraw immediately, but it's totally up to anyone else that, what exchange they want to utilize. I've utilized Uphold in the past. I just have my differences on it. I think that the fees are astronomical, but XRP, in my opinion, is pretty hard to still buy, and we are still holding up pretty strong. I mean, overall, XRP, I'm going to be honest with you guys, surprised me quite a bit with how much strength it has had during this entire time in this market. But it's because it's not tied to any of these major exchanges. So the contagion effects on XRP are minimal. We're only dropping with the market. Everything's still tied to what Bitcoin's doing. So overall, when Bitcoin does start to drop, yes, XRP will also drop until a utility market is in place. Now, with this, with how much XRP has been continuously growing and how much Ripple has been expanding, and also the SEC cannot label XRP a security. It's not in their jurisdiction. We just recently reported on this the other day with Stuart Alderati. It's funny because now we are seeing a lot of pressure on the SEC at this critical time, and we know that they can't label XRP as a security, but they could question if it is or not. And also, we have a petition to investigate Gary Gensler's criminal activities to FTX. This is from John E. Deaton. You guys can go check out his Twitter, where he does have this entire petition. And there's already over 5,700 individuals that have signed this, probably a lot more now. He does want to get to about 50,000. Let me go check out how much there is already on this petition. So there is over 6,000. So significant. Definitely go sign it if you guys haven't already. I think that we will see a lot more support coming out about this because, again, I want to see an investigation. I'm sure that all of you guys do as well. And I do think that we will see at some point in time Congress stepping in. We actually do see over here from Tom Emmer. We do see FTX's collapse is not a crypto failure. It's a failure with CeFi, Gary Gensler, and Sam Bankman-Fried. Decentralization is the point. Watch below for more thoughts. And yes, we've been seeing mainstream media attention on this entire case. And it's very interesting at this point in time that the SEC is sort of in the sticky situation, all while the case is coming to a near end. I do think that we will see pressure continue to build, and I do believe that Ripple will win this lawsuit. And when we do have regulatory clarity, it's going to change everything, and we will address that here in a second. We also do see over here from Digital Asset Investor, Congress, Ripple has been tied up in a fake Gary Gensler lawsuit 4 years now, while he was meeting with SBF from FTX official. He also presided over the failure of Luna, Celsius, and Three Arrows and MF Global. Why have you not hauled him in front of you to answer all of this? Again, I do believe that we will see a lot more discussions around Gary Gensler, around the SEC. Credibility completely gone, in my opinion, around the SEC and Gary Gensler. We know that this agency has failed completely. They have failed to protect you. They have failed to protect me. They have failed to protect everyone that is a part of this space. And the interesting thing is that them going after Ripple was a complete smack in our face because they caused over $15 billion in damages. So at the end of the day, as we do continue to see Gary Gensler being targeted, and we do see a lot of discussions happening around Gary Gensler, I'm focused on what is going to happen next. Well, in my opinion, it is inevitable for Ripple to have this major win. I do think that we will see a major win for Ripple. And the funny thing is that yesterday we just recently talked about Bank of America, and we do see over here from XRP Crypto Wolf, Bank of America to partner with Ripple for XRP on-demand liquidity services after SEC lawsuit finishes. And we do see over here, Bank of America to partner with Ripple for on-demand liquidity services after XRP lawsuit finishes report. And we do see down here that they are reportedly waiting at the end of the SEC court case against Ripple to join forces with the San Francisco-based payments company. I want you guys to all understand that when we look at all of these major banks, they're all sitting on the sidelines. It's not just Bank of America, and I've said this many times in the past. The technology here behind on-demand liquidity and behind Ripple with XRP is a significant change of scenery for these major banks. They see the value proposition behind this. We talked about this article just yesterday alone, where it was talking about Bank of America, how they were lifting the lid on this partnership. Yes, this goes back to 2020, but I want you guys to understand that the words in this article are still very strong today. We do see it's not about our platform and our capabilities. It's about you as a client and the infrastructure you have and the ability for us to integrate. Whether that's with platforms and capabilities that we built or partnerships that we have with the likes of Ripple or Swift. And yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like, you know, these are companies that are going to establish a major shift in their entire mechanisms. We do see these are fintechs that we're partnering with. They've come through all of our rigor of legal and compliance, and we're able to leverage our banking as a platform to deliver that to you. And again, like, as we look at Ripple, they are becoming a major leader in this space, and I do think that they will continue to be one. And it's very interesting that a lot of people continue to say, like, Ripple is not going to be, partnering with any major big bank in the US because they're in this lawsuit, blah, blah, blah. Like, you literally now have banks in the US waiting on the sidelines, realizing and knowing that Ripple will most likely win this lawsuit, and they are excited to utilize these mechanisms because they see the value and the potential behind them. We do see a quote from Brad Garlinghouse. He made it, says Burafado. Brad Garlinghouse made it clear that they're ready to settle with the SEC as long as they can get clarity for XRP. I asked him if American companies were waiting on the sidelines to jump in the game once clarity happens. He said, absolutely. He specifically said Bank of America is a huge partner of Ripple, and he said Bank of America stands to gain really big when the settlement happens because Bank of America is going to have a huge competitive advantage over their competitors by utilizing on-demand liquidity on the marketplace. So Brad is very, very bullish. Now, I want you guys to understand, why do I say that every single bank will utilize on-demand liquidity? Well, let's actually look into this. So Bank of America, once they go live with on-demand liquidity, it changes the landscape of banking. How? Well, Bank of America, right? As they gain this significant competitive advantage over their competitors, all of these other major banks are going to want in on this to level the playing field. You got to remember that on-demand liquidity isn't catering to specific banks. It is decentralized in nature, with XRP being at the forefront of it. Yes, sure, Ripple does own RippleNet and the on-demand liquidity patent, but this is decentralized at nature for these major banks to utilize, so they will 100% want to utilize this service. That's why, at the end of the day, on-demand liquidity is going to continue to expand, and the competitive advantage that it holds over the banking sector is going to allow it to win astronomically at the end of the day. Once this SEC lawsuit is over, I want you all to understand that you better buckle up because it's going to be a huge shift in the market for XRP. And we do see down here from Bank of America's head of global banking, it's about you as a client and the infrastructure you have and the ability for us to integrate, whether that's with platforms and capabilities that we built or partnerships that we have with the likes of Ripple or Swift. This is the quote that I just talked about in this article over here. I want you all to understand that on-demand liquidity as a service, when you see tweets like this, you see people say, but on-demand liquidity doesn't affect price, right? It does. On-demand liquidity right now doesn't necessarily affect the price. Why? Well, because you don't see a significant value and volume being moved over it yet. Once you do see that, though, once you have these major banks scrambling to utilize on-demand liquidity as a service, it's endgame, because you're going to see a lot more value and a lot more volume moving over on-demand liquidity sourcing XRP. Now, with all of this in mind, why do I believe that XRP is going to change a lot of lives? Why do I think that there's a perfect setup for it? Well, as we are coming down to the end of this case, as we are awaiting clarity for XRP, and as the price action still looks fairly strong, yes, it is down significantly, but we're back to prices that we've seen nearly going all the way back to 2020. This is not that bad at all, in my opinion. We have been looking at this demand range here. It's an accumulation phase. Down here is in the accumulation phase 2. If we do drop down that low, it's not guaranteed to. I'm just saying if we do get there, it is a huge area that I would love to buy again. And again, like when we look at the value proposition here, $10 to me is my minimum. I do think that a lot of people will be selling before $10, and that's totally fine. I'm not going to sit here and argue with those people and say, hey, you're selling at a terrible time or judge them. No, I think that you should sell when you feel profit is profit. But there's a few things that I want to look at down here at this 22-cent zone. If we get down to that area, a $10 price action for XRP would be a near 45x opportunity. If that is not life-changing to some people, then I don't know what is. If we get to the $26 range, say for so, I don't know what happens. Massive wealth is pouring into XRP. Everybody's so excited. Everybody's FOMOing in. This would be a 116x opportunity. Now, I do think that the $27 near price action is a little bit unrealistic going into the next major cycle, but that is just my mind being very conservative. Again, listen, I don't want to have anyone, stick to one single price and end up getting wrecked because, again, everybody was expecting a new all-time high during 2021. We ended up only going to about $2. So anything is possible. I know that everyone has this idea that, it's going to go to this price, that price, whatever. I do think that everyone should be looking at de-risking once you see significant price action. I always look at like a 5 to 10x opportunity as a major de-risk opportunity, just because you can take the money out that you invested and diversify it into another investment opportunity, or you could just send it right back to your bank account and hold on to it. But in my opinion, I do think that de-risking is a safe advantage in this game for most people if you want to. If you don't have to, if you want to just sit on it and send it to your ledger and wait till a price that you want is realized in, that's totally fine as well. But in my opinion, I think that with everything happening, with all these, major U.S. companies sitting on the sidelines waiting for this case to end, and as the case is looking like it's nearing that point of, okay, it looks like the SEC is under immense amount of pressure. It looks like the FTX situation is pushing regulations into the streamlined area. I do think that XRP will have clarity, and it's going to be the only digital asset in this space that has clarity. Think about how big of a game changer that is for XRP. This is why I do think that going into the next major cycle, XRP is going to have a huge competitive advantage over the market. And I do think that these major banks will want that competitive advantage as well by utilizing XRP as on-demand liquidity. And it's going to change the entire banking scene as we know it. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.